The words themselves were brutal enough, but it was the quiet, confident way my mother-in-law, Eleanor**, delivered them, as if she were merely stating an undeniable fact of nature, that truly fractured my world. It was Thanksgiving dinner. The table was laden with food, the crystal glasses sparkled under the chandelier, and the whole scene was a testament to the Monroe family's old, generational wealth, and their utter condescension toward anyone they deemed beneath them. My son, Leo*, who was only 17, had just politely asked my father-in-law, Robert*, a retired judge, a simple question about a historical Supreme Court ruling he had read about. Leo is a brilliant kid, thoughtful and kind, but he has autism. He processes the world differently, which often makes him quiet, and sometimes leads to what my in-laws cruelly called his awkward silences. The table fell quiet, not because of Leo's question, but because Eleanor was about to make a pronouncement. She looked directly at Leo, her face devoid of warmth, and then, slowly, she pointed to the pristine, white linen tablecloth. Leo, dear, she said, her voice dripping with false concern, your place is in the gutter, not at our table. You lack the social refinement to appreciate this setting, and your questions are a disturbance. Perhaps you should remember where you came from before you speak. The table froze. My husband, Mark*, who usually crumbled under his parents' gaze, looked horrified. Leo's face, usually so expressive, went completely blank. A defensive mechanism I knew signaled deep emotional pain. The sheer, naked cruelty, the utter humiliation of my autistic son, delivered at a family holiday, was a line crossed that could never be uncrossed. The core conflict was instant and overwhelming. Do I, Clara*, a woman who had worked tirelessly for 2 decades to shield my son from the world's ignorance, finally explode, creating a scene that would lead to an irreversible, messy divorce, and the loss of all contact with my husband's family forever? Or do I swallow the humiliation, try to protect Leo, and plan a quiet, cold, precise form of revenge that would permanently remove the threat of the Monroe family's condescension from our lives? Was I wrong to plot the destruction of my in-laws' social standing? Or should I have prioritized the facade of family unity for the sake of my weak husband? Tell me honestly, would you have screamed and dragged your son out right then? Or would you have started plotting a calculated downfall? To fully understand the venom behind Eleanor's words, you have to know my history with the Monroe family and the secret I had been keeping for nearly 15 years. I am Clara, 45, a successful, self-made interior designer. I grew up modestly, working my way through college and building my business from nothing. Mark, my husband, is a kind man but profoundly weak when it comes to his parents. The Monroes, Eleanor, the society matron, and Robert, the retired judge, ran their family like a court. They never approved of me, the guttus, Nipe, from the wrong side of the tracks, and they certainly never approved of Leo, seeing his autism not as a difference, but as a moral failing and an embarrassment to their perfect lineage. They constantly reminded me, implicitly and explicitly, that I owed my current status, my beautiful home, my successful business, even my marriage, to the subtle social leverage that being a Monroe, even a Monroe by marriage, afforded me. They believed that without their refinement, I would inevitably revert to the gutter they claimed I came from. What they didn't know was the reason I was always so intensely focused on my work. 15 years ago, right after Leo was born and a year before his diagnosis, I launched my own design firm. My first major project, a commission that started my career, was designing and renovating a massive historical estate for a mysterious, extremely private European client named Mr. Schmidt. The job was so enormous, so consuming, that I had to temporarily put my own life on hold. Mr. Schmidt, who paid me a staggering amount upfront, had one bizarre condition: absolute, ironclad secrecy. I couldn't tell anyone, not even Mark, who the client was, where the estate was, or what the project entailed, under penalty of a crushing multi-million-dollar lawsuit. For 15 years, I kept this secret, funneling every penny I earned from that project into a separate, massive investment portfolio. Mark assumed my success came from local work and the Monroe name. The truth was, my entire financial foundation, a fortune that dwarfed the Monroe's old money portfolio, was built on the back of Mr. Schmidt's secretive, massive commission. Over the years, the Monroes had slowly but surely eroded Mark's financial independence, making him dependent on their social approval and occasional gifts. This dependence was their leash, which they used to control both him and me. The Thanksgiving insult, delivered with such cold confidence, was the Monroes attempting to cement their power over Leo, over me, and over our future. They wanted Leo to internalize his inferiority, and they wanted me to accept their power to define my son's worth. As Leo's face went blank, I felt a horrifying wave of guilt. I had always told Leo his differences were his strengths, but I had failed to protect him from the Monroe's cruelty. I reached across the table, placed my hand gently over his, and squeezed. Leo blinked, looked at me, and saw the silent promise in my eyes. This isn't over. We fight. I needed to buy time to execute my plan. I smiled, a tight, controlled professional smile, and addressed Elinor with an unnerving calm. Elinor, that's a fascinating perspective. You're right. Leo and I do have a different understanding of worth. We'll be leaving now. I wouldn't want to further contaminate your beautiful table with our presence. I stood up, took Leo's hand, and walked out. Mark, paralyzed, stammered, "Clara, wait, my mother," but I was already out the door. My final glance at the table showed the Monroes looking smug and victorious. They thought they had won. They thought they had sent me back to the gutter. They had no idea I had just walked out to prepare a financial and social nuclear strike. The first step was securing my position. I spent the next few days with my financial advisor, discreetly liquidating the vast 15-year-old Schmidt portfolio It contained over $45 million in diversified assets, a fortune that made the Monroe's old money inheritance look like a comfortable savings account. I moved the entire sum into a new, complex trust, naming Leo as the sole beneficiary, with me as the trustee. I was no longer financially dependent on Mark, or on the social leverage the Monroes supposedly provided. I was financially impregnable. The second step was the weaponization of my success. The Monroes' entire social world revolved around a rigid hierarchy, and their status was deeply tied to their aesthetic environment. Their massive, ugly, outdated mansion that they treated like a historical landmark. I knew their deepest, unspoken shame was the house itself. I needed to find the perfect moment to deliver the blow, and that moment arrived when I received a call from Brenda ***. Brenda was Elinor's fiercely competitive frenemy, the only person Elinor cared about impressing. Brenda was hosting the annual Founders Ball ***, the pinnacle of the city's social calendar, and was desperately trying to secure the city's most exclusive design firm for her new seaside condo project. She called me, reluctantly, because she knew I was the best. So that's the situation I was in. I had $45 million locked down, an opportunity to ally myself with my mother-in-law's biggest social rival, and the unshakable knowledge that the Monroes believed they had defeated and humiliated my son and me. I could cut ties quietly, disappear with Leo, and never look back. Or I could use my immense, secret wealth and professional reputation to dismantle their entire social standing piece by piece, starting with that dinner table humiliation. My choice was terrifying. Do I prioritize peace and move on, or do I expose the Monroes for the cruel, small-minded people they are, risking the public humiliation of Mark, who still clung to his parents? Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have chosen the clean, quiet exit, or would you have used your $45 million secret to orchestrate a public, satisfying collapse? Seriously, let me know what choice you would have made right there. I chose the public, satisfying collapse. Peace was meaningless if it meant leaving the Monroes' cruelty unchallenged, especially after what they said to Leo. They deserved to be sent to the gutter they spoke so fondly of. I accepted Brenda's commission, and then I went further. I designed Brenda's seaside condo into a masterpiece. It was instantly hailed as the most architecturally significant residential project in the state, featured in every high-end design magazine. The press was enormous, and my firm's reputation skyrocketed, confirming me as the undisputed queen of the city's high-end design. The Monroes were forced to notice. Eleanor tried to ignore the praise, but it was impossible. My name was everywhere. Then came the final, surgical strike. I was giving a televised interview from Brenda's stunning, modern condo, sitting on a specially commissioned piece of furniture, discussing the concept of true generational taste and wealth. The interviewer, MS. Chen asked me, Clara, your design aesthetic is so forward thinking, so clean, a stark contrast to the old, heavy styles we see in the city's original mansions. Where does that courage come from? I looked straight into the camera, knowing the Monroes were watching. My voice was calm, professional, and deadly. That courage, MS Chen, comes from knowing that true refinement is not inherited, it is earned. I have the unique perspective of having seen both sides. I was often dismissed by certain old, money families who judged me and my wonderful son based on the dusty, heavy relics of their ancestors' relics, I might add, that are financially stagnant and aesthetically bankrupt. My philosophy is this: if your house needs a title to be impressive, the house is inadequate. True wealth invests in the future. It doesn't cling desperately to a decaying past. The message was clear. It was a direct, televised critique of the Monroes' entire existence, their ugly, old house, and their judgmental, stagnant values. The next day, 2 major national magazines ran headlines comparing Brenda's modern masterpiece to the Monroe mausoleum, effectively cementing Eleanor's social demotion. But I wasn't done. The financial collapse came next. The Monroes, feeling the social pressure, realized they needed an injection of capital to modernize their ugly house and save face. They needed my design firm. Robert, the retired judge, called me himself, Clara. He said, his voice strained, "We need you to oversee a full renovation of the estate. We'll pay whatever you charge. It's important for Eleanor's position." I was ready. "Judge Monroe," I replied, my voice cool and businesslike, My firm's rate for a project of that scope would start at $10 million, payable upfront. However, given the context of our last meeting, your comments regarding my son's place in the gutter, I must decline. My firm only works with clients who understand and respect true worth, and frankly, your aesthetic is entirely beyond salvage. I couldn't, in good conscience, attach my name to something so fundamentally flawed, both in design and in character. I hung up. It was the ultimate professional and personal rejection. They had to seek out a lesser, cheaper firm, confirming their decline to their entire social circle. The fallout was complete. Mark finally woke up. He saw his parents' social standing crumble, realized my true financial power, which I finally revealed to him, along with the secret of the Schmidt portfolio, and most importantly, he realized the depth of their cruelty to Leo. He filed for a legal separation from his parents' trust, cutting all financial ties, and moved out of their influence. He apologized to me and Leo, completely and utterly, and began to seek therapy for his own codependency. Leo, now 20, is thriving. He is pursuing a degree in computer science, and his confidence has soared. He knows I fought for him, and that our worth is not defined by crystal glasses or dusty mansions. I am still with Mark, working on rebuilding a foundation of trust and respect, now that he is truly his own man. The Monroes were socially marginalized. They were left with their ugly, old house and the lingering knowledge that the goddess, Nipe, they despised had become a multimillionaire powerhouse, who used her success to send them, symbolically, right to the social gutter they had wished upon my son. I used the $45 million not to buy a bigger house, but to buy my family freedom and dignity. And every Thanksgiving, we have a quiet dinner at my gorgeous, earned home, and we toast to the beautiful, kind, and brilliant person that Leo is. I have no regrets. Like this video if you agree that the only true worth is earned, not inherited. Subscribe for more stories about class warfare and generational revenge. And please, share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section below. Do you think Mark can ever truly escape his parents' shadow, or is the Monroe legacy too strong? I'll see you all in the next story.